Hey, welcome back to the farm. So in today's video, we're gonna talk about the benefits of fire, and we're gonna get a little bit into prescribed fire. Now, I'm not gonna go in depth on prescribed fire because I do plan on doing a later video and a series of videos on the benefits of prescribed fire and how private landowners can utilize prescribed fire for their own landscape. So be sure to subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for that content in the future. But let's see what we've got going on today. The hugelkultur bed is burning very well behind me. There are some invasives that have started to take root in the hugelkultur bed. We've got some honeysuckle and some other things that we would rather not allow to thrive here on the farm. We've been working very hard to manage our invasive species, and we've made a great amount of progress. So this fire is one of those tools that we've been using, and this fire is going to destroy that honeysuckle, destroy its structure, and destroy any seeds that it may have left behind. So that way next year in the growing season, that honeysuckle will be significantly less dominant compared to some of the other native species that will be moving in. By making the naturally occurring nutrients that are found in the soil more bioavailable to our plants through fire, what that allows is for the plants to be more resistant to disease, more resilient to drought, and just grow more vigorous, stronger structure with much better quality fruits and vegetables, as well as flowers and everything else that they produce. One thing that you should certainly consider whenever you're dealing with fire, whether it's burning a brush pile, doing a prescription burn on a large scale, or doing a prescription burn on a small scale here, you need to be very mindful of your weather, the relative humidity, the temperature, and your wind speed specifically. If you're not sure how to understand that sort of stuff, definitely reach out to a professional. You know, your local DNR office may be able to help you build a prescription burn plan. That's what I did last year whenever we burned out the 16 acres of forest that we have here behind me. So if you don't feel comfortable with it, I'm not telling you to just light things on fire. This is definitely strategic and planned out, and I've thought about my contingency plans and things like that. I was also a wildland firefighter for the Bureau of Land Management back in 2018. So brush fires are something that I'm very comfortable with. I don't have a problem with building plans and understanding fire behavior and things like that. But there's certainly plenty of resources online to where you can educate yourself, and even you might even be able to sign up for a class to learn more about prescribed fire and how you can use it as a fantastic tool to manage your landscape. These native wildflowers and these native grasses and things that we see growing here, that's going to allow native insects to have an ecosystem to thrive in, and then those native insects are going to provide food for the native birds that we want to attract on the farm. And so that closed loop system is kind of what we're going for. So that way, you know, those native birds that are attracted to the pests that will eat our garden, if we give them a place and a space to thrive, then they're going to be more likely to nest here on the farm. And that's kind of the concept that we're looking for here. So I'm going to go ahead and light this up and we'll see how it does. So we're going to just watch and see what happens. Just takes a little bit to get started. It is very dry here currently, so you know it's going to burn quick and it's going to burn hot. Indigenous peoples have been using fire to manage landscapes for hundreds of thousands of years. This is not a new concept. This is not something that we're just now discovering. There's a lot of benefits to adding fire to your landscape. So this space, after it burns, will actually be given a nutrient boost. It will add carbon into the soil but the ashes and char that's left over will actually have a pH of about 8 to 8.5, which would be similar to putting lime on this space. So it's really a great natural fertilizer, and it's very low cost. It costs little to nothing to start a fire. It can cost a little bit to invest in the tools that you may need to manage the fire, and it may take a little bit of time investment to educate yourself on how to understand fire behavior and how to mitigate some of the potential risks, but it's certainly something that just about anyone can do.